Hello, welcome to the Dirty Gaming Podcast, name subject to change. My name's Cameron, I'm joined by...
Cameron.
Who'd have thunk it? And we are here on our first podcast, and we're going to get you to know us a little bit better. So we're here to discuss favourites today. So we've got a little list of different favourites that we're going to talk through and compare, and just have a wee bit of fun with that. Sound fun, Cameron?
Yes.
Yeah, fantastic. So we'll start with our first favourite today. What do you want to start with? Let's go with nostalgic.
Oh, right. First favorite.
Well, the list is nostalgic favourite, all-time favourite,
current favorite,
and least
popular favorite.
We may only get through two of them, and you might be looking forward to that to the next episode. So please come back. Alright, let's start off with
what did you want me to start with?
We'll start off with the nostalgic.
Right, fuck.
My personal one go-to will always be Time Splitters Future Perfect.
What's favorite?
So, like, that nostalgic favourite. So, I've got so many memories of that from...
I didn't even think of that one.
No?
No, I didn't think of that one.
Because me and my sisters and my mum and my dad used to play it all the time. You and I spent ages... It is going on.
No, but we want to.
Yeah, we want it right there. You and I spent ages on it. Remember, we did the
I remember
in the subway doing the one hit, one kill on with the baseball bats.
I actually didn't remember.
We run in and we go for Frodo and just beat the shit out of robots.
Yeah, I do remember that now.
And then going in the Tundra map with the car, and we
that's why I remember.
Tons of remotes.
I remember, and blowing up the car, and you would just drive the car towards each other,
and
then you'd you'd fucking detonate C4
and then launch.
And we shoot over.
And that one time we put much on that we launched me out of the map. And
I was about to say, was that a goal or was that an accident?
That just happened because we're like, how much C4? How much can we plant to this? And how far will it go? And it got to the point that because we were playing on the same team, the explosive damage wasn't hurting each other, so we were just flying around the place and watching it go up and around. And then one time it went out the map, so you were stuck in the car, and then poof, and there was just like a little ninja monkey.
I thought you went out.
I think it was the ninja monkey because I was always playing the zombie monkey or the robot monkey, and the ninja monkey was just sat there, like driving cross-legged in the air, and they never got rid of this fight the entire game. But we lost the car, so we had to start again.
Yeah.
And then obviously
I can't actually remember much of that. I remember sticking stuff on the bottom. And I remember blowing it up and making it fly away. And I remember, I feel like we did it by accident.
Like we didn't mean to throw it out because...
Yeah. But then after that, I'm sure we did it more than once because you can stick. We were like, okay, so if we stick an ungodly amount of C4 onto this car, it will fly out.
It'll fly out. And that was the thing because we were like, is it going to respawn? Is the car going to come back? But no, we're just running around the map, just ourselves, no enemies.
Yeah. Well, I remember the tunnel. I don't remember the tunnel, when we played in the tunnel. But I remember, making the maximum AI bad guys on the other team, and then us two one hit one kill with baseball bats, and then running across the tundra. And then there was just an army, and we were two tiny monkeys.
We were two tiny monkeys, and we'd always shout for Frodo.
Did we shout for Frodo? Do you remember that? I don't remember.
That was in the subway one primarily because we went down to like the end of the subway tunnel and waited for them to all jump onto the tracks, and then you're just like running towards us, and we're like, ah.
Yeah.
And then after a little while, we went up and like pulled the lever that caused the trains to go like voof, and just killed tons of them.
No, that was a good game. I didn't even think about it till you mentioned it.
But I've also got the memories of like playing with Katie, Carey, and Molly, and we'd be playing 4-player and we'd be playing Virus without any weapons. So
what does that?
So do? Virus is the one where you've got like the green fire, and one of the AI spawns with the green fire, and as soon as they touch people, the next person, it's like Tig, but like group Tig. And so at the end of it, it was just me, Carrie, Katie, and Molly all sitting without the fire on us, playing Tig. And as soon as one of us got it, it became a different game because we're sitting like screaming, like Mum and Dad are sitting behind us watching us giggling with laughter as we were running around the place. And eventually one of us got it, and then that was when, because you can manipulate the AI. Like the AI always jumped over this little bit, so we'd be like, right, jump, now time to run up and then do the thing. And then as soon as one of us got it, it became a different game because we'd be coming for each other. We were like, I'm coming again, I'm coming again. And we're like, no. And then even then, like I continued playing that well into my teens. Me and my mum used to sit and play it together. Like I'd come back home from school or something like that, and I'd come in and we'd play that. We'd go into the Tundra map and we'd put on all snipers and do an elimination game or something like that. And we'd just be sitting taking out the enemies, but we're also versing each other. And I was always going to found the mag charger which could shoot through the walls.
Oh fuck! I remember that gun.
I was just like, Mom was just shouting, "Has he got that fucking gun again?" I'm like, nope.
I don't think I ever played more Future Perfect apart from
the car.
Play with you. Yeah. I think I got it on like PS2 or something, and then played it a bit on my own. I played the first couple levels because the story was
fun.
Was Vin Diesel basically? Yeah. It was Riddick. He would look like Riddick. No, not Riddick.
No, Riddick.
Riddick. Yeah. And then he goes through time.
He goes through time and does it.
Because we played some of the story.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever finished it though. I remember
played it through a few times. Like me and my dad played it on the hardest difficulty. Me and Lewis are actually doing a wee run through it.
Oh, nice.
We're almost at the end, but we got to the bit where you're playing Future Cortez, and he's like
past Cortez. Don't they bump into?
Yeah, they bump into each other several times throughout the story. But in like the second last mission,
then wait, hold on. Do you not have that moment where you meet him and then you play the game more, and then you go back in time and meet
and meet yourself, give him the weapon that he needs.
The past,
and then,
yeah.
So there's those bits, and then but the second to last
cool
mission is going back to the first mission and being the sniper on the hill that no one knows who he is. Which was great
that kind of
foreshadowing.
thing.
That was absolutely brilliant. The whole first start of the mission, you're like, is that... And you can actually kill your future self and end the game at the start of the thing if you pick up a sniper rifle at the in the first mission and just like start leathering into Future Cortez.
Nice. Where did Time Splitters go?
that was the last Time Splitters. There was always... No, I know, yeah. But... There was always teases for future Time Splitters because I remember...
Who made it?
It was... Oh crap! What's their name again? Because I've got the. I got it. Don't fuck with stuff. Free Radical. I'm not fucking with this stuff. This isn't connected to anything.
Oh, it's your phone. Yeah. Sorry, I need to start again. When I went on to, it's fine.
It was Free Radical.
Was it Free Radical?
Yep. So ex GoldenEye developers, I believe. Went on to
that would make sense. It does feel like
GoldenEye, it's got that feel to it.
Time Splitters, Future Perfect.
Time Splitters 4 was always like teased and whatnot, and it was like the monkey with the Master Chief helmet.
2005.
There's a wee teaser for that, and they're like, "Oh, Time Splitters 4 is coming at some point." But then they created Haze.
Yeah, Free Radical design.
I think published by Haze, which I never played.
Yeah, I never played Haze. I always remember the cover though. I didn't fucking
I remember, I think that was planned to be the Halo killer or what have you. It just never took off properly.
Yeah. But it was the yellow helmet.
With the crack in the eye. Yeah.
2005.
2005. Yeah.
So it came out when we were like 10.
But obviously, those developers have went on to do like a couple other bits and bobs. There's this game where you can find Time Splitters 2 on an arcade cabinet. And it's got the full of Time Splitters 2 in it. Homefront: The Revolution.
Oh, really?
And really, you can go into your base and you can find the Time Splitters 2. And I don't think anyone did, but when they found out that they can actually play all the Time Splitters 2, it blew up again.
We like that game now. It's got a better game in it.
And they're doing there's a fan game coming out of like they keep releasing like footage of look at the new graphics, look at this mission, blah blah blah. But I think they're remaking 2, not 3.
What? Oh, Time Splitters.
Yeah, Time Splitters. So they're remaking Time Splitters 2, but Time Splitters 1 was Time Splitters 2, but like less of it. Because it only came out on the PlayStation, Time Splitters 1.
Oh,
and
okay.
then they finished the game and released it on all the consoles and called it Time Splitters 2.
So it was like an early access?
Kind of, yeah.
For like the first time?
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, it was
that's
really
fucking weird.
I never played Time Splitters 1. We played Time Splitters 2 and we like watched my dad play the story and stuff like that.
I remember playing some of Time Splitters 2, Time Splitters 2 with you, but then I played Future Perfect first. So going back to Time Splitters 2, I was like, there's some stuff in here that doesn't work, or isn't is older, or hasn't been added. Like Future, I can't remember.
But like, there's challenges and stuff like that, and there's this great mission that my dad and I always struggle with, because the AI are old school AI, where if they're planned to be difficult, they murder you. You have no real chance. And it was the Super challenge was called the Handymen. We're running around and you've got a Tommy gun and you've got to try and kill as many of the Handymen as possible within a time limit. And my dad would be like 2 or 3 off the time limit and he'd be like, I will get this gold.
Nice. Yeah, that game was, I liked Future Perfect. Not on my list though. Again, I didn't even consider it. But I wouldn't have. As I said, I misunderstood the assignment. So I've got 4.
But that can work.
I've got to pick one out of the 4. Yeah, I've got Ocarina of Time.
Of course.
Because, duh. I think that was the the first game that it was in that time where your friends had different consoles than you did. So you had Nintendo and I had PlayStation. So I never played Nintendo games.
Yeah.
So then playing a Nintendo game, you're like, what the fuck is this?
This is mental.
This is wild. And it's like obviously at that age, you don't understand a lot that's going on. But the vibes were so different with Nintendo games. Like PlayStation had nothing like Mario, Smash Bros, Zelda. Monkey Ball.
Oh shit, that could go into my nostalgia.
Monkey Ball, Luigi's Mansion. Like all these games didn't, like the really cartoony kiddie kind of stuff. None of that existed. So, but I remember playing Ocarina of Time at your house and Smash Bros at your house.
Yeah.
But I remember, I don't know how, because I got a GameCube. I acquired myself a GameCube at whatever age, and then I got the Ocarina of Time
and Smash Bros.
No, and the Wind Waker.
And the Wind Waker. Oh, the Wii collection.
The weird fucking double collection thing,
which was amazing.
Yeah. But I really liked fucking Ocarina of Time because I was thinking this was really heartless for me because I was like, well, nostalgia wasn't that bad. Sorry, because there's thousands of games I played obviously as a kid, and you're trying to remember which ones had a really big impact on me was quite difficult because I played like Halo 3.
Halo 3,
was a
Rayman.
big, like but none of them stir. They're like, oh, that fucking game. Yeah. they stir like that was a fun game. Ocarina of Time was, and I think it was the first game I think I considered art. I was too young to. I would
understand
never,
what art was.
I would never have verbalized it that way. I would have said I really like the idea of it or something, or I like swords. But now I'm like, no, I think that game had a profound effect
on gaming as a whole. Like,
yeah, but on me personally, I mean, so going from the little village and you can't get out the village. And you're like, what's going on? Then you have to do the tree, and you're like, oh my god, I just want to get out of the fucking world. And you get out to the world, and you're like, oh my god, there's a whole field. And you go to the, what'd you call it? You go to the village.
The other village.
No, Hyrule.
Hyrule Castle.
Hyrule Castle area. Din din diddly din 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 diddly din. And then and then you go from there, and then you gotta go up to the Gorgons, the water people, and there's a third one. You have to get 3.
Goron, Zora, and the desert bit.
Oh yeah. So you have to get those 3, and then you go to the Temple of Time. Yeah. Gerudo Village. Anyway, so you go to the Gerudo Village. You go to those 3, get the 3 fucking gem things. Then you go to the Temple of Time. And you become an adult. And then you go outside and you're like, what the fuck?
What happened? I was gone for 5 years.
I was only gone for a few minutes, and now I'm 20. And then everyone's dead. And then the whole thing, and you're like, then there's another, and then you have to go to 5 different sections?
Yeah.
And you're like, there's a whole other game here. Like, my little brain could not handle what happened.
And it was impressive how those little things created such a horror element, especially for us as a kid. Like, going into that village.
Yeah, because there's that scream when you first go in, it's like,
yeah. Those things were terrifying. I remember.
Yeah, those things were scary.
Was it Harry Potter Chamber of Secrets?
Being
absolutely
on my list.
Terrified of the prefects that are walking around. Because you've got to do like the little forced cell section, and you're running around, and you're like, I've got to go do this. I remember just being like, I can't do it.
I remember being scared of
just absolutely terrified.
I was scared of the ogre or something in the first one.
I think so. The first one,
straight up couldn't
fun
get past
fact, the first one was the first game I ever completed.
Well,
at my uncle and aunt's house on their PC.
First game I ever completed. Jesus.
That's a topic for another video.
Yes, I mean, I'd have to do some real soul searching to figure out the answer. So I remember I couldn't read when I played Ocarina of Time, which is why I think it took me so fucking long to even get remotely through it, because I couldn't read anything to tell me what to fucking do.
To go in,
But what I did end up doing, I watched speedruns. And then
the speedruns back then,
because I couldn't figure out the dungeons. I couldn't read. And I was stupid. So I would watch a speed run of them just going, because it was faster than watching someone do a playthrough. And I don't even know if, obviously, playthroughs must have been a thing. Like it was 2005, 6. Yeah, like so that must have been a thing. But anyway, so I watched speedruns, and then that's how I found out people glitched the fuck out of that game. Like they would like hop into a corner, do 2 slashes, and then do a backflip, and then glitch into a wall and teleport to like the last fucking area. And I was like,
is this how the game's played?
That's not what I'm looking for. But then running backwards was faster.
Yeah. Which
was strange. And then anyway, then jumping sideways was the fastest. Because but if you hit like a hill, you could jump like really quickly. Like you had to wait for yourself to land to jump again. But if you went up a hill, you as soon as you landed, you could jump again. So you'd go up, all the way up. But if you did it on land, you'd be like. But anyway, what was I getting at? Yeah, that game, I think art wise had a profound effect on me because it was. I don't know. I was so young, but it's such a like the pool to play that game was huge as a kid. Like I just wanted to play it, but that might have been because you had it and I couldn't get my hands on it.
I must play this game.
So because I couldn't play it, it created the what's it they say about love and shit? Separation makes the heart grow fonder. Like I think that's what happened. I think because I couldn't get my hands on it, it made me really want to play it. So then when I finally got it, I was like, I can't believe this.
I had that for Heroes of Might and Magic.
Which one? Wasn't there a couple?
There was a couple, but it was one of the ones that you had on PlayStation 2, and I was like, "Can I have a shot at that?" And you were like, "Nah, that doesn't work well. It's a single player game. It's not fun to play together." And I was like, "I want to play that." I never played it. Never touched the game. Never touched it. I remember you being like, "Nah." And I was like, "I will get that when I get a PS2." And I never got a PS2. So
same thing with a lot of those games I got as a kid. Like I couldn't read, so like I'd just be like, "I don't fucking care what this game is." Like the feeling of being stuck in a game. I don't have anymore. Obviously, I think because I'm an adult, I'm a lot smarter than a 10-year-old, and obviously games are a little bit easier.
Yeah,
but like I remember vividly. The last time it happened was Sekiro, where I was just like, I don't know where to go. Like I have no fucking clue if I go that way. But then I've explored over here, so is it over? And I've lost. That happened a lot in video games, where I'd get lost and I wouldn't know how, like where to go,
where to progress, right?
And then the worst part was you'd stop. Sleep and then play again the next day and go, oh, it's fucking that way. Did you just get it? That was the worst.
Why did I not look around here before?
It was a fresh set of eyes to a problem.
I got lost quite a bit in video games, but I think because we used to sit and watch my dad play like Wind Waker, Metroid Prime, all these kind of games. It'd be me, my sister, my mum all sat on the couch, my dad sitting forward. And I think just having that. When my dad got lost, everyone was chiming in. Oh, we checked here. Have we done this? Have we done that? So like, it was a communal understanding of where to go. So
a family effort.
A family effort. So like, when I started playing games solo, I kind of had like their voices in my head being like, "Have you checked that? Have you done this? Have you done that?" So like, it was
helpful.
Very.
It is really weird that you had a gaming family.
Yeah.
Like my dad joined in sometimes when I played the game, but I think now I'm an adult. He didn't play games. He was just getting involved in whatever I liked.
Yeah,
like as I think dads should do. So he just would sit and play the game and didn't really get it. What did he do? He liked vehicle games. He loved flying in planes and shit like that, driving, flying in planes, all that kind of jazz. But he never really. Sister played sometimes, but again, I think
she played more up my house than she did.
Probably, yeah.
I think I remember me, you, my sister Katie, and your sister Rachel playing Mario Kart Double Dash. It was very there's another nostalgia one.
What game did I just fucking say? Sorry, hold on. One popped into my head. One popped into my head is Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3.
Of course,
that shit might be my number one. That might be
your nostalgia.
Yeah, that might be.
Or your all time.
No, not my all time.
No.
My all time is fucking hard.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I've got like 8 games here, and I've crossed them. There's 3 pages of me going, no, score that out. Write this game. Nah, score that out. Write that game back again. And then okay, great. I didn't need to pay. Fresh page. None of it's working. But no, I think Dragon Ball Z. Well, actually, sorry. One last point was I do remember my dad and my sister playing Marvel versus DC. No, not Marvel. Mortal Kombat
versus DC.
They would play with me in that game. I think I kicked the absolute shit out of them.
Oh, of course.
But then I remember, thinking back, I'm like, they were just joining in on whatever it was I was up to, which was nice.
No, since we had the PS1, before that,
I need to get a pen and write this down.
Cut this.
You can keep talking.
Oh, I can keep talking? No, we'll cut this together, Cameron. Oh, for God's sake. So, me and my sisters played games since we lived in Andover, so I was about 4, and we had a SNES emulator on the PC, and we played Battletoads. So it was me, Katie, and Molly playing Battletoads.
All I know of that game is the remake that happened. Like fucking years ago, I think, at this point.
I think everyone hated it.
I think everyone hated it.
But so we played the old one. I think it was Battletoads and Double Dragon, if I remember correctly. because it was a mixture of the 2 different levels and blah blah blah. I didn't really know much about Double Dragon at the time, but we played since then. So we moved into Glasgow and we played the PlayStation 1. We played Tekken against each other.
Nice.
And my sisters used to always get annoyed that I was like using the same move over and over again. Can't stop
Spamming.
playing it.
Spamming.
I was just like figuring out how to beat them and all that kind of stuff. And then we played Mortal Kombat Trilogy, and I was the first person to figure out how to use a special attack because we didn't actually look at any of the buttons or anything like that. So we're
No
just
one
like
does.
mash, 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 mash. And I figured out, chuck an ice up as Sub-Zero. And like little bits and bobs like that. And then I remember, like, I went into gaming a lot more than my sisters did. Like, they obviously
they
love
play
playing
games.
They play games. No, they still continue to play games, but I remember getting really into it. So I started playing online with, like, Lewis and Bob and all that kind of stuff. And
I remember that, yeah.
And I remember playing Doritos Crash Course, which was like a racing game, kind of like Total Wipeout. That kind of thing, but like a racing game like that. And I remember Molly got so angry that I beat her. She was like, all he does is sits and plays games in his room the entire time. I've got a life, Cameron. No. Like, I beat you at a game. Calm down. Breathe.
Breathe. I was going to say, there is... Shit, I forgot. Yeah, I remember that happening, where everyone kind of played games, and then they didn't. And then I went to the other school, the Steiner school, and then like nobody played games. And I was like, what the fuck's going on here? Okay, I guess nobody plays games here. But then when I was like, I feel like everyone plays games now.
Yeah.
At least to some extent, which is quite interesting. That everyone kind of like knows what GTA is and Halo and shit like that. But I do remember being a kid and some people just did not play. And then some people just stopped playing but did kind of play. Then I was like, what the fuck do you do? Like, what do you do in the evening? Like, what, you know?
So you just sit and stare at a wall?
What the fuck do you do? Because like I still did other stuff. Like I still did sports and skateboarding and karate a bit and stuff. Like I did things, but I still would fill up my whole time with games. So when people were like, I don't play games, I'm like, yeah, but what do you do when you're not doing the other things you're supposed to do in your day?
I pretty much had drama club and games. To the point, like, I'd come home from school and, like, my mum would come check on me, like, at, like, 8 or 9, and I'd still be sat in my jacket with my bag on, sitting in front of the game, just like, shouting at people.
Yeah. Addiction.
Yeah.
But no, I think my number one nostalgia game is... I have so many more in here.
Yeah.
I'll go through them before I
go. Like, a brief list.
Batman. Arkham... Probably Arkham City.
Arkham City? Okay.
That's a nostalgia one for me. Because I got it when I was 16 or 15, which is now is more than 10 years ago. So, like, that counts.
Okay.
But that I played the absolute fuck out of that game. Like, I would play the game, played the game for the first time, complete it, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Then I'd come back and want to play New Game Plus.
Yeah.
On the hardest difficulty. So I would play the game again, do all that shit. Yeah. And then I was like, right, I want to play it in the Batman Beyond suit. Yeah. So then I'd play the game again to get New Game Plus, to then unlock the bat suit, to then put on high difficulty, to then enjoy it. Like I was like, I have so much fucking time. Like I'll play a game to complete it just to play the game the way I want to play the game. Yeah. And I wouldn't be bored. Yeah. I would just fucking and I really like Batman. It's my favorite superhero for a very long time. Lego Star Wars.
Lego Star. Oh, okay.
Oh my fucking god! Yeah. I fucking jizz over that game when I was younger. I think my cousin had it. I think my cousin played the game, and then I was like, "What the fuck is this marvelous shit?" And then I somehow got it, and then it was one of the few games I searched my house for because I knew I was getting it for Christmas. I got number 2, so I was like searched my house for number 2, found it, and then got to play early. It was a good time. I really enjoyed Lego Star Wars 1. But no, I really like that game. I liked the Gonk droid. Yeah, and killing him. Boba Fett, everything. No, not Boba Fett. Jango Fett. Everything was amazing. Obviously, we grew up on the prequels. Yeah. So lightsabers and Darth Maul and all that shit was.
You'll hate me, but I loved Jar Jar as a kid. I liked Jar Jar. I do think he gets a bad rap.
I think, well, no, I think everyone our age was like, no, Jar Jar was all right because we were 5 or something. We watched it.
It was
like,
funny.
Funny guy. Now I'm like, oh, he is annoying. But as a kid, I remember being like it's no more annoying.
He stuck his tongue in the electricity.
Yeah, because I feel like anyway. Again, then Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4 because fucking I loved that game. Jango Fett was in that game. Yeah, he was. Jango Fett was in that game. He was.
Because Pro Skater 3 had Darth Maul and Spider-Man, didn't it?
Which is much cooler than Jango Fett. But left.
I know, you love Jango Fett growing up. Like,
I did, yeah, he had a fucking jetpack. Arguably the coolest back and accessory next to cape.
That's one thing I never got around to playing was Bounty Hunter.
Oh, that game was good.
I've got it now on the PlayStation on the PS5, but
yes.
I've never went.
I don't know how actually good it is.
Yeah.
I just really liked it because it was Jango Fett. But no, left, right, circle was jetpack move, special move in Pro Skater 4.
In Pro Skater 4.
Yeah, left, right, circle, and you could get to all these places that no one else can get to. Fucking loved it. And then I have Pro Skater Underground because I was deeply excited for that game because you could get off your skateboard and just climb like parkour. And I think I was doing that. I think I was. I don't know when I started doing.
Because you had a parkour game on the PS2, didn't you?
Holy fuck, I did. It's called free running.
Free running, yeah.
Yes.
I remember like trying to play that with you and just like I could not understand the controls.
It was really shit. I think.
But it was everything you needed.
Yeah, it was enough for me. Yeah, I think I could. I don't know if I could do flips at that point in my life when I started playing that game. Don't think so, no.
No, because that was before France, because you learned how to do the backflip in France.
No, but I could because I could do other flips before the backflip.
The side flip.
I could do a side flip and a front flip, but I could do a hell of a lot of moves, but I couldn't master the backflip.
Yeah.
And then I kept falling on my head. So
yeah, because I remember like, I was running to get your inhaler from inside, and I was like, "Don't do a flip without you," because I was helping you do.
You were spotting me.
I was spotting you doing the rotation kind of thing, and I remember like, "Don't do it until I come back." And I came back, and you're just lying there on your back, like,
I could totally do it.
I'm like, what did I tell you?
But I think I'd gone through a couple of. I think I'd done it, then failed, then done it, then failed, and then just needed help. Okay, but spot. I don't know if anyone who's watching knows spotting is you hold their back, you hold their legs, they jump, and then you flip them, so you kind of help them do the rotation so they don't land on their head. So that's what he was helping me do. And then I remember landing, but the problem is you get the fear, so you jump and go, and then you stop, and then just back of the head, back of the fucking head, and I can't breathe. But I'm pretty sure I learned how to do a backflip off one leg, like a gainer, like you kick your leg all the way through, before I learned how to do a backflip.
I think so.
I taught myself all this stuff on grass, so like the fear was real, but everything else was easy.
Yeah.
So, easy-ish. So anyway, getting really off topic. Yeah, so the free running game was really good. The Pro Skater 4 was fantastic, and getting on a skateboard and doing all that climbing was fantastic. But I think it's Dragon Ball Z.
No, was he?
I think so. Budokai, because I had that.
Honorable mention to San Andreas.
I was about to say, bring that back up.
Because you and I doing the co-op.
I used to sneak that game to my cousin's house because he is a mad Christian. So like, I don't think we were allowed to play it. So I'd put it, funnily enough, I'd put it behind, like I'd put San Andreas in first. And then on top of it, you could put a double disc on it. Yeah. Like if you pushed it hard enough.
Yeah.
And I put it in the Lego Star Wars case, and I was like, look, we're playing a wholesome game. And then it's like, let's kill horse. It was a good.
But that was the thing, we played kind of wholesomely, like, if I remember correctly. We didn't go around killing horses, but we did put on the flying car cheat, find the car that looked the closest to the Harry Potters and chase after the trains. We did that for hours.
To be fair, very wholesome. But no, I think Dragon Ball Z is mine.
Yeah.
Because I went to Blockbuster and I got Dragon Balls. I didn't know at the time any of the, like now I know it was Dragon Ball Z Tenkaichi 1, 2, 3 and then Budokai Tenkaichi, or Budokai 1, 2, 3, Budokai Tenkaichi 1, 2, 3. Oh, and then I went to the shop and then they had that really fun section that's like you can get three $3.99 games for a tenner. 4. So it would have been like £12, but you get £2 off. Doesn't really matter. The point is you get some sort of deal, or you could get 2 10 games for 20 quid or something.
I remember.
Some math there. So I was like, right, I'll get 4 games for the cheaper price. Yeah. One of them was Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Tenkaichi 3 or something. Yeah. And then I took that shit up to the guy at Blockbuster, and got the game, and then he put Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3 in my Dragon Ball Z Tenkaichi 3 case. And then I got home, played it, and again I couldn't really read, so I was like, that's more words. like when it popped up on screen, I was like, Dragon Ball Z something 3, and then I looked at the disc case and I was like, Dragon Ball Z something 3, and I was like, all right. Oh, but that game started with Dragon Ball Z Tenkaichi 3. Yeah. So like Budokai Tenkaichi 3, so I knew the name because the game told me.
Thanks, game.
Thanks, game. And then, but anyway, so then I shit you not, it took me about a week to go, holy fuck, this is the different game.
This is the better one, the newer one.
This is the better one. And I got it for like, £3 instead of 12, which at the time was all of the money in the world.
Oh, 100%.
So much money. And then I played the absolute fuck out of that game. Like there was, the clashes
Yeah.
with the beams, and then when you get hit, your character will progress, or if you get hit with a special ultimate move, they will change costume to their battle damage costume.
Yeah.
So I used to wait for the AI to shoot a beam so that I could shoot a beam back. No, so I could shoot the beam back, get the clash, and then lose the clash.
So that then you get the battle damage suit, and then be like,
and then I get the battle damage suit and be like, okay, now it's fucking time to go.
Now it's time to murder.
Now it's time to win, like they did in the show. So I think my number one pick has to be Dragon Ball Z. It was just, and that's where, I played all those games before I watched the show.
Also, another honorary mention for Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
We played the fuck out of that. The amount of times we jumped off the highest building.
Yeah, why?
It's just what you do in an open world game. You find the highest thing and jump off it.
First of all, is there fall damage?
Is there fall damage? And it was always a nightmare because he didn't like ragdoll or anything like that.
Yeah, he just goes
boom,
knees, face. Yeah, that was really silly.
Right, second topic.
Hold on, let me see how long we got. How long are we going? 20 minutes?
20 minutes. So we can get another topic in?
Probably.
Yeah. All time or?
All time's gonna be really fucking difficult.
That should
We can
take
try
us.
it.
Yeah, let's go for all time. So I know mine.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
What?
So it's kind of a tie.
So you're
like
fucking lying.
I have a gist. So the first thing that came into my head was Batman Arkham Asylum.
Nice.
That's one that I still play regularly to this day. I have platinumed it 3 times. I constantly replay it. Oop. And I always preferred Asylum over all the other ones because I preferred like the story. I love the condensed story in it.
Metroid kind of feel.
The Metroidvania kind of feel to it. Like I remember just going up to my friend's house to play it for the first time. I went up to Lewis's and we used to do like sleepovers and gaming nights tons and tons of times. And he got this and I was like, I'm so excited to play this because the demo came out and I played the shit out of it. The absolute shit out of the demo. And I went up to his when he got it. And he was like, start a game, hardest difficulty, and take a week. And he passed out.
What was that sentence? Start game, highest difficulty.
Start game, highest difficulty, Cameron, you can have a wee shot.
Okay.
And then he went for a nap. And then woke back up and I was already at Bane, the first boss. And he was like, how the fuck are you here already? I was like, I love this game, I need to play it. But there's also, me and Lewis went to the Edinburgh Interactive Festival at one point. And, to this day, there was a competition on, which I didn't realize because I was too busy playing Batman at a stall. Nice. It was like the E3 version of the demo, so it had like a couple of extra missions that you could fight through, an extra stealth one, an extra combat one with like more dudes, and the competition was to get like the highest score on the first level. Which I like in the combat trials, which also I played through the combat trials and the stealth trials so much, and Lewis went up and got the highest score, and then about 5-10 minutes before the competition ends, come over and tell us, Cameron, there's a competition up there to win a Batarang for the thing. And I was like, what? You're telling me this now? And I got there and I was the last cut-off person.
Oh, fuck, were you?
I was the last cut-off person.
Oh.
Lewis knew that I was going to beat him in the score level, so I was just like, absolutely furious. But for my 21st birthday, he gave me the Batarang and be like,
well, like fucking 10 years later.
10 years later. No, I appreciate the sentiment. He's like, you know you would owe one, so he gave me the Batarang. I was like, so I've got so much like nostalgia for that game as well, but enough.
It's also a good game.
It's an amazing game, and I still play it regularly. I go back and play it.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah, that was one of the deciding factors in my all-time favorite. Was like, how often do I go, I really want to play this game?
Yeah.
Like, how much does that happen?
Yeah.
Which is quite difficult to like figure out like when, because playing it and not playing it I guess is slightly different, but there are games I think are really good but I've never wanted to play again, let alone have actually played again.
That's the thing, when like usually I'm like, I want to go and play the trilogy again, and I stop halfway through Arkham City. I do everything in Arkham Asylum, and I'm getting Arkham City. I was like, I forget how good the story is, and then I just put it down, and I'm like, I could play it again. I forget, and I don't go back to it for ages. Like I'm halfway through a run in Arkham City.
Nice. I think Arkham City I preferred Arkham City. Like I prefer the open world.
That's the thing. I can recognize Arkham City as a better game, technically speaking, but like everything, everything about it is just more.
They did innovate on everything that was there. But no, I don't like Metroidvanias, like at all.
You're an open world.
I've tried them. I don't get them. I don't like going back. But open, that's the fucking open world. Yeah, let's go over there. Now go over there. Now go over there. But no, I just preferred I don't know. I think Batman running around a city fulfilled the fantasy that I had in my head. Like, it's not the game aspect necessarily that I liked.
Yeah.
It makes you feel like Batman. Like, that shit. But it is true. Like, Arkham Asylum was walking around Asylum and doing that stuff. This was like, you are in the city. And that's what I've wanted since I was like 5. Yeah. Like, I'd wanted a game where I can just be in a city as Batman. And there's cars, there's people, so like that was just fulfilled that fantasy fully. And I played the shit out of those trials as well. But yeah, I played Arkham Asylum and then I never played it again. I think it's because the format. I just think the format fits better with the open world. Because I do like open world.
No, I've honestly platinumed that game 3 times. Like
I did everything in the city, I think. Again, though,
I was going to. But that's the thing with City is to Platinum City and Night, you have to do the combat trials. Every combat trial with each character. And you've got to get at the highest level. So I like each one of the combat trials, but I can't play them through 4 or 5 times. I can't remember how many characters there are in each one.
I think there's Batwoman, Nightwing, Robin, and Catwoman. Did I say Batwoman? You did. Batman, Catwoman, Robin, and Nightwing.
But no, in City, I think it's just Batman.
No.
Is Nightwing in?
Yep. I'm sure he's in City.
Oh, Jesus.
Pretty sure. Pretty sure. I'm not confident. But anyway, it's Batman. Yeah, Batman Arkham City was on the list. I've got Kenshi / Bannerlord because there was 2. I was contemplating getting rid of one of them.
Yeah.
But I'm currently obsessed with Bannerlord.
Yeah.
Mountain Blade Bannerlord. This is technically a niche game. A lot of my stuff on here is nicher.
Yeah, because your ideas, your game focus came a lot indier as you moved on to your PC.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to. That's why it's kind of there, because I'm like, I am obsessed with it at the moment. I don't know if I'd call it my all-time favorite, but I fucking love it. You start off as a dude, you get your recruits to fight some war that they definitely haven't got any reason to be fighting because I want money, and then you send them off to die, and I fucking love it. And you can get trade caravans. I told you the story I did tell you the story. I'm going to tell it again. Where I always marry, there's people in it called the Britannians, and they are basically Scotland, but old. And they love bows and arrows, which Scotland isn't famous for. So that's kind of crazy. Anyway, and then there's a lady, you can marry people. You die in this game. Ladies and gentlemen, you die as you age. So you have to fucking propagate your legacy and shit. So you have to find a wife, have a baby, so that thing is of age. That thing. Well, hopefully it's a dude because everyone hates women. So, and then when your character dies, you play as someone else. I'm not sure if you don't have a kid, if you play as the wife, or if you play as your brother, or if you play as another champion, or if you don't have any family, the game over. Like, you just lose. I'm not sure yet. I'll let you know. I've played like 200 hours of it, and I
still don't know.
I still don't know. Yeah, it's really hard. It's a really hard game, and I love the beginning. But anyway, so I was trying to get my wife. My wife is Corinne. She's a tiny little lady that has a wolf head. No, she wears a head of a wolf as a hat. That's fucking cool. And then she is also the daughter of the king of Britannia, which is the Scottish people. So I always get her as my wife. I went to get her as my wife, and she was taken by another man of the Azurai, which I think, or the Khazate. She was taken, I think, by the Khazate. They're based on the Mongolians. Yeah. So they just horse archers. Horse archers, and they're fucking hard because they can just stand over there and shoot you, and then as soon as you get over there, they fuck off. So you need your cavalry to combat them like properly. Like if you can use archers because the Britannian archers are much better than their archers. But again, they're
on horses.
It's a real issue. But the Britannians, really good archers, terrible cavalry. Like they're really bad cavalry, so they're not great at fighting.
Never put them on a horse. Never put them on a horse.
Yeah, no. Scottish people, no idea what horses are. We only know what coos are. And then, so I find him. He's married to him. So I'm like, okay, oh shit. So I'm like, right, I'll need to. Who are they at war with? And I find out they are at war with the Sturgians, which are Slavic people, but basically Vikings. So I join up with them so that I can legally go kill him. Because you can't just go kill a noble, but you can legally kill a noble if you're at war with him.
Okay.
So fucking 20 hours later, join the Sturgians, build up an army of cavalry from the Valandians, who are the French, and then archers from the Britannians, and then I find him, I kill him, and then I execute him, which she did not like. My relation with her went right down. So then I had to spend the whole time gifting her fucking cattle until she liked you again. so that I could marry her, and then I married her, and then we all lived happily ever after.
Yeah. Sorry, I killed your dad. Here's a coup.
No, it wasn't her dad. It was her husband.
Oh, her husband. Sorry. Sorry.
It was creepy shit. It was the time though.
Yeah.
But yeah, that game, sandbox wise, is fucking amazing, and I'm a big fan of medieval and battles and swords and all that crap. So that game is, but I'm currently obsessed with it.
Currently, yeah. So that's. More
but I had 100 hours in it before I got obsessed with it again. So I am struggling whether it's a current lust for it, basically, as opposed to like a long, deep ingrained love that I have for some of those other games. Amazing game, maybe on there. The other one's Kenshi, which is another game that is amazing, made by one man.
I remember you saying,
made by one dude, and it was shit all the way up until it was good. Like it was one of those games where it's like, this is shit, and then 4 years later, it just, it's good now. Like all his ideas. He's one of those guys that everyone's like, you are nuts and you're crazy. This doesn't work. And then it flips and you're like, oh my God, what a genius. But that game's amazing. It's like a post-apocalyptic samurai desert game. Like you're all samurais, post-apocalyptic. So the technology is like gone, but there are robots that kick around, but they have been alive so long, they've forgotten where they come from and stuff. So you just have these robots. Then you have different factions. You have the samurai-ish faction. You have the racist, homophobic, holy nation. So they're religious zealots. Yeah. You have the cannibals. You have the Shek, which are like
the bug people.
No. The Hive are the bug people.
The Hive are the bug people.
They have one queen, and then the rest of them are just workers. The Shek are like warriors. They have horns, and then if you don't die in battle, kind of like Vikings, like you get your horns cut off and then you get exiled and stuff like that. And they just love fighting. They only respect strength. There's a couple more races and the humans, obviously.
Yeah.
And then there's a couple more different factions. But it's one of those worlds that is just amazing. Sandbox wise. There's not really a story. It's like make your own fun.
It's something I'll need to check out when I get my PC.
You really should. Yeah. It's really good. But I had my story with that one is I had a city and have all these people. So I had a dog, I had a cow to carry my loot, and I had like 4, 5, 7 people that would like go on the exploration party. Yeah. Then I had a home base. And then I bought a gunner because I needed someone to man the walls. So I bought a gunner. He was like 16 grand. It's fucking expensive. And is he a hiver? I think he was. I think it was a hiver drone. There's like 3 different. There's like a drone.
I remember you saying you had a hiver and you took a hive near the hive and they're like, fuck is that?
Yeah, they fucking hated him. Yeah, that was really spooky. His name was Ray. He was basically a ninja. He was unarmed combat guy. I think he ended up losing most of his arms because that's what happens when you unarmed fight someone with a sword. You lose your arms.
Good pro tip.
Don't punch a sword. But anyway, so I got him a gunner for however much money to man the walls, and then they were making their way. I think I sent them ahead. Like I can't remember why. I sent them ahead, and then the people were coming behind, and then I was like, oh look, a cute village. And then I went to the cute village, and then there was people farming and shit. I was like, oh cool, I'll get some supplies here and I'll be ready to move on. And then they turned and were like, heretics! And I was like, oh no. Beat the shit out of one of my guys and the gunner, because I sent 2 away. One was Reva, I think, and the gunner. Can't remember his name. I was like, oh fuck. So I rallied the units, but they're in a different part of the map. Like it's real game time of travel, sped up, it's like 5 minutes. So it's like, but it takes 5 minutes to get there. But obviously, the faster I go, the more chance that I don't know what happens. But anyway, so I did that. I was like, shit. So I got these guys, set them on the destination to go over there, and then move the camera back, and they're tied onto poles, like in the middle of the field. And I'm like, oh
what the fuck
shit.
happened?
Yeah. Oh no, that's not what happened. I took over a settlement from the samurais. Samurais are slavers. So I took over their settlement, freed the slaves, and was like, great. we can rest here because a lot of my characters got badly injured. So then, okay, we'll rest here, and these two can go scout because we need supplies after this match. And then they got caught, and that's how we ended up here. Yeah. So I was like, shit. So they're tied up on a pole, and I'm like, okay. So I looked at Reva's knocked out. Gunner is knocked out. Reva's actually quite high level. She's got good speed, she's got good strength, and she can lockpick. So I set her to, her legs weren't busted, but the gunners were. Oh. But she's not strong enough that she can carry someone and run faster than other people, because I do have a robot that can do that. So anyway, so I go back to my people and they're recovering. I'm like, okay, cool. They're recovering. So I speed it up and then get Reva. She unlocks herself, but both her arms are broken. Oh, no. So, but she can still run. So she unlocks herself and just flops her way back. And I'm like, sick. Okay, she's back. I heal her. She rests, and I can leave her to rest while the other 5 go.
Go and save.
And I'm like, sick. They've healed enough, and then they make their way over. And then in the little fucking distance, I just see incinerated. Like the word. And I was like, oh no! So I swim back over, and I'm like, they fucking incinerated him.
Oh
no! I was like, probably because Reva's escape. And I was like, right, fuck these people. So I went over with my crew, murdered I think it was like 30 people. Like I murdered them all. Found their leader, knocked him out, took him, sold him into slavery, found their holy book, and then threw it in the sea. And then I was like, fuck these people. And then I was like, this game's amazing. This is one of the best games I've ever played in my life. One of the best games I've ever played in my life. Oh, it was amazing. So that's why it's on here.
Fair. That's absolutely fair.
It's a good fucking game. Okay, anyway, that was Kenshi and Bannerlord. No. Whoa, there's a theme when it comes to those types of games. I really like games that just let you do your own thing.
Emergent storytelling bits.
Yeah, and it works. Like you don't think, oh, it's cool, the game let me do this. Yeah. You're just doing it. You're not thinking about,
mechanics or anything like that. You're just like, go do the thing.
Batman's on here. We talked about that. Yeah. Ocarina of Time's on here.
Yeah.
We talked about that. But Space Engineers is on here as well, because fucking love Space Engineers.
Have you went back to try and play Ocarina of Time?
Not since...
It's
a long time ago. Yeah,
it's a brilliant game. But that and like Mario 64, classic games of their era and time and all that kind of stuff. It's still playable.
Yeah. The thing is, I'm like, Ocarina of Time had a profound effect on my like appreciation for art in video games, which is why I think it's on here.
That's why I separate the nostalgia and the all time.
Yeah. Because I've got Urban Rain somewhere on this list.
That'd be one of your nostalgia ones, surely.
I think it's on my least popular favorite.
Your least popular?
I think if you look at the reviews,
it's brilliant.
Look at the reviews, it's terrible.
Oh god!
But if you think about it, it's not great. Like you can just technically mash square and get away with lots of things.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're getting sidetracked. That's a different thing. Space Engineers. Ocarina of Time's on here because I just think it's. Yeah. I couldn't think of another game to replace it with.
I would put Wind Waker myself. Over.
I prefer to, but again, this is my.
Yeah.
This isn't best game ever. This is like my favorite game ever. And I was trying to see what games existed was a real problem with this list. I'm like, what games have I played? Oh, Red Dead was one of them. And not on the list, but it was like I was playing around with it.
I got taken out of Red Dead. I struggle with the
story. No, the story, the opposite.
Yeah, no, like the stories are good.
No, the stories are good.
I love but in Red Dead 1, I remember playing it through, and I got one mission to go over, and like that way it has like multiple missions, and you go to talk to the different people.
Yeah, go talk to this person. Go talk to this person.
And I remember going to one of the missions. He's like, I can't believe you did this with this guy. I can't. No. And then I went over and did the mission and did the thing that he was saying that I was doing.
What?
So, like, I went over and talked to someone, and they were mad at me for doing something with this other guy.
Right.
I was like, I don't remember this at all, but I'll take your word for it. And then I went and did a mission for that guy, and we did the thing that the guy was mad at me for.
So it was mismatched.
So it took me out of the story.
Yeah. No, it definitely has some downsides, I think, that style of storytelling. Yeah. Where, like Red Dead, for example, where you can... Oh, sorry, Red Dead. We are talking about Red Dead. Yeah. I was on Red Dead 2. Where Arthur's going through his redemption arc, but then you can go into town and murder like 80 people and walk out and be fine, but then he's got a redemption arc. But the reason it had such an effect on me is because I played it like a good guy. Like I didn't really kill anyone. I was just really loving the story, loving the slow-paced gameplay. Even though I do think the gameplay kind of shit. Like it's a bit clunky, it's a bit slow.
It fits the narrative.
Yeah, it does fit. It's one of those, I think,
and it makes the world feel lived in, which is I quite liked about Red Dead 2. I need to go back and finish it, but that was when my PlayStation was
trying to fly away.
Yeah. So I was like, I can't play Red Dead 2. There's several different games that are making it try and fly away, and they're so much worse looking that I knew that Red Dead 2 was like just taking it out of the PS4.
But I was like, it's so new that I'm not sure if it's had enough time to settle on best of all time or my favorite of all time. But I think it's my favorite, one of my favorite video game stories that's like told to me. That's not like Kenshi and Bannerlord. I have stories in them because of what I did, but Red Dead's telling me a story, which is obviously very different things. And I think that's the best story I've ever played. But I can't think off the top of my head anymore.
I think for my runners up for like favorite games would be stuff like Slay the Spire, Monster Train, and Hades. Would be like Hades. Because that came out during lockdown, I powered through that. And I loved the story. I loved the little
Hades' story was very good.
Phenomenal. The music was amazing. The gameplay was really fun. And I love roguelikes. I've loved roguelikes for ages. I can't remember what roguelike got me into it to start. I think it might have been Rogue Legacy, but I was always bad at Rogue Legacy.
Yeah,
Dead Cells was one of my favorites for just general play. I was actually decent at that one. Binding of Isaac I enjoy, but I am awful at.
You play a lot of that game.
Yeah, and I still haven't got anywhere near finish.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. Yeah, because that's what I was. I don't know. Our gaming gets refined as we get older. I think. Whereas when I was younger, I played a lot of games. Now I don't play games like Batman, Lego Star Wars, Pro Skater, Ocarina of Time. Like I wouldn't play these kind of games anymore because it's not where my attention is.
Unless you want us to.
Like I don't play them anymore. Yeah. In terms of my own free time, I'd rather do something that I can do whatever I want in, and stuff will happen. As you can see, because your top games were like Hades, Monster Train, and Slay the Spire. Very similar type of games. Whereas mine is Kenshi, Bannerlord, Space Engineers. Yeah. I didn't get to explain Space Engineers, but it's a space game. But you get to build a spaceship, build a space base.
Go do what you want.
Orbital, go to the moon, build a base on there, it's like do things, the game. And then the game, like I like Space Engineers, Barotram also as well. What's Space Engineers? Like I build a spaceship and then I fucking forget that my battery runs. I forgot to fucking do something with the wires, and then the ship breaks halfway into space and it crashes. And then I
remember I came in and you were sitting playing it. I was like, "Son, what are you doing?" And you were stuck on a meteor because you got into a fight with someone or something like that, and you had to re-engineer your ship so that it was good enough to get somewhere. So
it's like that kind of thing. Yeah, crash into a meteor. So now my ship is broken, but you can fix it, and I've got enough materials to take 10% of the ship away to build a smaller kind of ship with the materials I've made to get somewhere else, to then start mining, to then build a base that has bigger guns so I can go where I was trying to go in the original in the first place. So that kind of game. So these Kenshi, Bannerlord, and Space Engineers of Barotram, which is the same thing. You're on a submarine on Europa. So it's a space submarine game, and there's like fucking big things in the water. But less so that game, but you create your own story based on what just happened in the game.
So I think that's like, because our tastes differ in that kind of way. So I like the challenges and the like short runs and trying to do it better next time. You prefer like a big, more open world.
Doing shit in my game. Because I thought it was open world, but it's not. It's like
it's kind of
sandboxy open world. Sandbox is a better word.
Yeah. But where our tastes cross over is more of our fighting games and stuff like that. Like, we love For Honor. We love.
It's on here.
That's the least popular, Smash Bros, Mortal Kombat.
They're all because I agree, because I had Smash on here, and I was just like that was my life from like 13 or younger up until like 20. Yeah. It's like
even into our early 20s. No. 20 is probably.
I stopped. It's when we stopped smoking weed. Yeah, and I stopped smoking weed about 22.
And we were just sitting like
I would just get absolutely stoned and play Smash Bros. Till like 4 a.m. Yeah,
and that was like almost every other day.
Every other weekend, I think.
Every other weekend, yeah, and we'd just sit and go up to Jonathan's and just sit and play Smash Bros.
It was amazing.
It was amazing. It was absolutely brilliant. We did that with Mortal Kombat X as well a little bit.
Yeah. Same thing. But I always came back to Smash. But also I was playing Melee with you and we were like children. Yeah. And then I played Melee with Bob when we were teenagers. And then I played. So like I put Smash on here, but it wasn't
a particular Smash.
It was like the fucking concept.
The Wii U was the one that we played the most.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. I think so. I gotta say, I can't understand how much I played Smash as a kid because I played with you. But I fucking playing Smash was so good. Like I'd never played a game like that before.
Yeah.
But I was like, it's like 2D, but fighting and then putting slow motion's fun, and you can make it fast, super sudden death. I was like, oh my god.
And then we were doing the boss rushes on Brawl.
Yeah, it was so like, I remember my mum coming over to pick me up, and I'm like, oh, I'm playing Smash, shit. And then Isabel was like, do you want to have a cup of tea? And my mum's like, yeah. And I'm like,
more games.
That's like an hour. They talk for ages. So Smash is was on there for nostalgia. And I was like, I don't know. But I'm still torn between all-time favorite. It's definitely between Kenshi, Bannerlord, and Space Engineers. But it's not... I don't think... But I played these recently, the last couple of years, which is why I'm like, I'm torn. I don't know. That's why I'm more confident
in Asylum, because it's an older game. It's considered a great game. So
very good game. Yeah.
It falls under that. And it's a game I will play regularly. Every 2 to 3 years, I'll go back and replay it.
But
Same with Resi 4. But
the
old one, I still go back and play that as much, but not as much as I do Asylum. And I'll always go back to Asylum. No matter what, I will find time to replay that.
Yeah, because I'm struggling with that, because I go back and play Kenshi, but Kenshi's quite involved. Like you don't play a little bit of it. Like I have 400 hours, and my most played game is For Honor, and then it's Project Zomboid, because you die, you start again. You die, you start again. It's really quick.
Yeah.
Kenshi is very similar, but it's an RPG, so you reload. So you play for a while, and then you stop, right? And then you play for a while, and you stop. Bannerlord, I've come back to about 4 times. I've got about 100-something hours in it. It's quickly going to rise. So I don't know if I can confidently say it's my favorite game of all time.
Yeah.
But Kenshi might be, because it's like exactly what I want in the game.
Yeah.
So it's, I don't know. I can't think. I can't think. Because there's also, but these other games like Assassin's Creed is also on there. Not on my favorite game list, but I was contemplating Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
2, because I was so fucking excited for 2, but then that's nostalgia. So I'm like, what's my favorite game of all time? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah. It's such a hard one
Shadow
to
of War was, no, Mordor was on my list, because I just fucking love killing orcs.
Yep.
Like, I love violence. So I was torn. So I don't know what my all-time favorite is. I think it's Kenshi, but it's subject to change.
Yeah, it's always going to be subject to change. I think that's why I have the other categories, is to take some away from the all-time favorites, because if someone goes up to you and asks, what's your favorite game? 8, 9, 10 different games pop into your head.
Yeah,
so if you can take a couple of categories off it lightens the load for all time. So there's more of a chance that you'll actually come to a conclusion on one.
My heart's telling me it's between Kenshi, Bannerlord, and Space Engineers, but my heart's telling me more that it's Bannerlord, because that's just.
But that's what you're into right now.
I'm into it right now. But I did play the game previous to it. Man, played
came back to
Warband.
Yeah,
I played a bunch. And then realized the new one was coming out, and then I played the new one, and I was like, this is like exactly what I'm looking for. Like when you want to play Skyrim, I want to play a game with, I got a sword and I got a shield and I fight people, but then Skyrim kind of sucks. And then Oblivion, so Mount and Blade is that thing. I'm on a horse, I got a sword and a shield, I get to control an army, and I get to conquer a world, and I'm like, this is just what I want to play.
Yeah,
but it's so it came out in 2020. So I'm like, that's a bit too soon to say my favorite. But then I'm also like, yeah, but I'm aware I'm playing this game forever. Like, I'm playing this game forever. Like, I'm not. So anyway, I don't know. I think Bannerlord, Kenshi, or Space Engineers. If I had to pick one, I think I can say Kenshi.
Yeah,
I can confidently say Kenshi.
Beautiful,
because it's fucking gorgeous.
Glad we got here.
It took a fucking long time, but Kenshi, I think. But then you're right, yeah. The current favorite and least popular favorite. Least popular favorite, I think, will be fun.
Yeah, that'll be a fun conversation. But we'll save that for next time. We'll probably run out of time.
No, we have run out of time. Yeah.
We run out of time now. Thank you very much for watching.
Thank you for listening.
If you wouldn't mind, we'd love for you to hear your favorites in these categories. So leave a comment below. We have to get that sorted. And if there's
favorite of all time, nostalgia.
Yeah, favorite all time. That's a tough one, but have fun.
And nostalgia.
And what's the other thing I was going to say?
Like, share, subscribe.
Like, share, subscribe. Yeah, I was going to do that. If there's any other topics that you want to see us discuss, please